I had a guy who emailed me saying he was clinically depressed and he was going to kill himself. I obviously am not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor. I told him, because I replied to my emails. I said, have you been to a psychiatrist? He said, yes, I'm clinically depressed. I've been on these pills, this amount of time. I'm on antidepressants, it doesn't work. I said, I don't know what to say to you besides this. And he said he lost his girlfriend, that's why he became clinically depressed. I said, listen, go to the gym, get a six-pack first. Once you've got a six-pack, email me again. If you still feel like killing yourself, I don't know what else to say to you. I'd say, strong body is a strong mind, go train. He went, he started sending me progress pictures, emailing me him getting in better shape, and eventually got a six-pack. He's now a professional bodybuilder. And he said, I can't believe I was considering that. I feel so much better, etc. The doctor who was telling him he was clinically depressed and couldn't cure it, he started taking control of his own life, and now he felt better. That if somebody has depression of any kind, whether it's clinical, whether it exists or not, whether they feel depressed or not, whatever, that taking control of their life, taking personal responsibility and working hard is always going to be the positive, best thing they can possibly do for their life going forward.
How positive is it?
Them.
I'm not going to be, and I don't want to be one of those guys who's like motivation, inspirational. I've never been one of them people. I don't believe in motivation, inspiration. I don't believe in that crap. I don't believe that you need motivation to get things done. I'm not going to sit here and just talk a whole bunch of motivational things to make you feel good. If you look at any story, literally any story with a hero in it, they all have one thing in common. And that thing is that there's always a villain. You cannot have a hero without a villain. It doesn't matter. You can think of any superhero, any comic book, any book you can think of, any movie, there's always a good guy and there's a bad guy. So for the good guy to exist, there has to be a bad guy. So you can be sitting here right now going, my woman doesn't respect me, I have no money in the bank, this is difficult, I'm struggling here, I'm struggling there. You can feel sorry for yourself, or you can say, yeah, my woman doesn't respect me, I'm struggling, I can't make money, but you know what, that's because I'm a superhero, and my life's gonna be hard, because I'm a man, and as a hero, it's gonna be difficult. These are the tests and the trials and tribulations I have to go through to become someone. And if you're struggling for a very important reason. And how you handle these struggles and how you deal with these struggles is going to decide the kind of person you're going to be afterwards. You're either going to be a superhero or you're going to succumb to them and you're going to fail. So be happy that you're struggling, because that's important. That's the first thing. Second thing is, there has to be a villain. Now, most people think their villain is someone else. You see this all the time. The villain is the opposite of the hero. So if you're sitting at home and you haven't got much money and you're broke and you're pissed off and you're depressed, and you look at me and I have 4 supercars and all these girls, I'm traveling the world, I go everywhere I want, you may think I'm your villain. People look at other people and say, oh, that guy has this guy has this, and they become envious and they think that's the villain. That's not true. That's not the case, because every single person has different circumstances. There are things you have that I don't have, and there's things I have that you don't have. So comparing yourself to these people is not going to help you. Your villain is nobody else. Your villain is someone you're going to create. And you're going to create your villain because he's going to motivate you to be the most powerful hero you can possibly be. So make sure that there was no disadvantages involved. Your villain's going to be a clone of you. But what your villain's going to have is he's going to have some things you don't have. And your villain is going to be the person who basically, without requirement for motivation, without being, no matter how he feels that day, no matter how stressed he is from work, regardless of what happens to him, your villain's going to be the guy who always does exactly what he wants to do. To become a hero, you need someone to battle against. This is who you're battling against. You're battling against a better version of yourself, a version of yourself that doesn't succumb to how he feels, but does what he's supposed to do anyway. I'm not the guy who's going to let this man beat me. And you have to start comparing yourself to this guy in every single facet. I still do it to this day. I compare my bank balance to this guy's and he's killing me. I compare my body to this guy's, he's killing me. I compare so many things about myself. You guys may look at me and go, oh, Tate, millionaire, girls, this, that, that. I'm still comparing myself to this person I've created. And I know that I'm losing. And that's what drives me forward. That's why I don't miss the gym. That's how I find a way to make money. That's how I do whatever it takes to succeed, because I know who I'm battling against. Put this enemy together from start to finish. And when you truly put this list together, you truly create this person and truly understand that it could be you, it's going to be far more difficult to stop you doing what you need to do in the future.
If you take 100 people and put them in a room, all millionaires, all of them worth 10 million plus, and I'm sitting in that room with them, and you come up to the table and say, guys, what's the secret to making money? All 100 people will give you 100 different answers as to how they made money. Which means there is no secret to success. There is no recipe to success. I know the recipe to my success.
So I was 17, I was working at a fast food restaurant making sandwiches. Now, the internet didn't really exist.
as such, but looking back on it, it was part of my journey. And I regret nothing because I ended up where I am. So would I even go back and tell myself anything is the question. If I had to, it would be to not burn so much of my time. Let's talk to the 17-year-olds who are listening. You know, do you finish your job, come home, play video games, etc.? That's what I used to do when I was 17 a little bit. What I didn't do is come home and think, okay, let's work on something new. Let's try and build something. Let's start a YouTube channel. Let's start creating content instead of consuming content. I'd tell myself to be a little bit more proactive with my free time and not around so much. Stand yourself in front of the mirror if you are that person. Imagine yourself 30 years older. Imagine yourself fat, out of shape, bags under your eyes, wrinkles on your skin, gray hair. Imagine that man exactly where you are today. And if you don't like it, do something to change it, because it's complacency that damages people. And that's a mix of brainwashing and programming and, your personality. It's a mix of lots of things. But I think growing up really impoverished and looking around at the other adults, who are still in, I was 16, 17 years old working at McDonald's. I was working with people who were in their 40s and 50s doing exactly the same job as me. And I thought, whoa, I'm going to have to do something. I never wanted to be a multimillionaire. Andrew once said to me, famously, Tristan, if we could just find a way to make like 50, 100 pounds a day from home, that would alleviate a lot of our problems. Start small, because as you climb the mountain and you reach where you wanted to reach, you realize that there are new mountains to climb. There are new mountains to climb for me right now. And I'm at a level that a lot of people can't even dream of getting to. But you see it. It opens new doors when you accomplish the goals that you're aiming for. And it opens your eyes to what's possible from there. So don't think I want to be a multimillionaire. Think, okay, I want some financial independence. I want to work 20 hours at the fast food store instead of 40, but supplement my income from home. Okay, I've done that. Now I have more free time. Where do I go from here? Just because everyone's doing one thing doesn't mean doing the opposite is wrong. Sometimes that's the best thing to do. Life is like a game of chess. You can't take moves back. All you could do is look at the board you're in, look at the position you're in, and make the best moves possible. Why would anything that makes you happy and doesn't hurt anybody else be wrong? No matter what you want to be in life, and no matter what you want to do, whether it be, a dog trainer or a kickboxer or a zoo owner, it takes certain amounts of passion, time, and dedication. Network, connections, power, money. That's what makes you free. You can't just walk through the world as a dork, because the things you desire don't come very freely to you. I would like to think that every single young man watching would love to have a beautiful woman. They would, wouldn't they? Beautiful women don't like dorks. They really don't. So look at the things you want from life, and look at who you are as a person, and think, how can I positively change myself to get the things that I want from life? And I think you're naturally going to come out of your dork state just from doing that. I've always had companionship. I've always had someone who had my back, someone to fight with me, someone to work with me in terms of my brother. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the journey to the top for me necessarily was lonely. But let me tell the young men out there, you need to be able to identify low quality friends and cut them off, and curate the people around you into a group of winners, a group of men who want to go out there and achieve the same things as you. And the journey to the top not only won't be lonely, but it will be far easier.